Hello, my name is Chloe, welcome to my channel. Today I'm bringing to you my Magical Readathon TBR. So I have taken part in every single round of the Magical Readathon and I am so excited to take part in its new journey with the Aurelium Academy University. I can't remember what she called it. If for some reason you have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about, I will link G's announcement video for the Magical Readathon, which, yeah, oh my god, I attended the premiere. There were so many people there and so many people are so excited about this readathon. So I am very excited, I've said excited about 8 times, to share my TBR with you. I have started a journal completely dedicated to the Magical Readathon with the brief history information that G has provided and all of the maps. And yeah, I was gonna say excited again. I genuinely was missing the big community feel that I feel like the Magical Readathon used to bring. And I don't know why it turns into such a big readathon, but that was like my every year I was looking forward to April and August to continue on with my journey. So this being brought in, and I think it's gonna be a continuous like yearly process as before, and it just feels like such a nice warm hug to take part in the same thing as a lot of the booktube community. So I can't wait. So first of all, we have the Novice Path, and the Novice Path is our journey to the Aurelium Academy. I keep saying Academy, I really feel like she said Academy. I did print a little copy of the map, but there are 7 prompts to fulfill for our journey across the Novice Path. You will tell in these videos as time goes on, I do not understand the fantasy element of this. So there were a lot of different species and their attributes and like unique qualities, and I have no idea, but I just want to join in. So the first place on the map is the Novice Path entrance, and let me check my notes. This is to read a book with a map, and I am not cheating. But we all know that it's normally fantasy books that have maps, so I was quite scared I wouldn't have something to fit this. But Horror Store by Grady Hendrix, it starts with a map. So I'm hoping this will focus, but we have a map of the Orsk store. I am counting that as a map. So if you are unaware, I know that my Bookathon TBR would have gone up a couple days ago, so please do go check that out because there will be a lot of repeats. But Horror Store is my book club pick for September. If you're still in the dark, I have a book club called Chloe's Crime Scene Corner where we read dark fiction and true crime non-fiction. So September is our time for a horror book, and we've gone with Horror Store by Grady Hendrix. All I know about this is it's an IKEA store basically called Orsk, and somebody mentioned zombies, but I'm not sure if that's true or not. I think it's just obvious. I have absolutely no idea apart from a scary IKEA store. So very excited. The next place on the map is the Ash Thorn Tree, and the prompt is a book that keeps tempting you or is on the top of your TBR. So I have gone for Dial A for Aunties by Jessie Sutanto. I believe I'm saying that right. This is Rachel's book club pick for September. So Rachel over at Rachel Carris has the book club Books and Me. I took part in July reading Billy and Me by Giovanna Fletcher, and I skipped the August book, but I'm so excited to get back in with the September pick. I will link Rachel down in the description and with all of her information. Definitely go check her out. If you like my channel, you will love hers because it's perfect. But this is when Maddie Chan accidentally kills her blind date, she turns to her aunties for help. Their meddling sets her up on the date, so they kind of owe her. Although hiding this goddamn dead body is going to be harder than they thought, especially when her family's wedding business has the biggest wedding of the year happening right now. It turns out the wedding venue just happens to be managed by Meddy's ex, aka the one who got away. It's the worst time to see him again, or is it? Can Meddy finally find love and make her overbearing family happy? So I've heard that this is dark and funny, because obviously there's a dead body, but it's hilarious, apparently. We will see. Next we have The Mist of Solitude, and the prompt for that is to read a standalone. So I am going for Opposites of Always by Justin A. Reynolds. And this is about, I won't read the full description, but it says this is a book about two teens who fall in love over cereal, about a boy stuck in a time loop and the moments that make a life worth living. So I will be buddy reading this with Olivia Savannah from Olivia's Catastrophe. I don't know why that was a mouthful, I'm sorry. And Becca from the Becca Fowl. So I think this is going to be a really good one to read. It is slightly chunky, but it looks like my upstairs neighbour has chosen right now to play the piano. So apologies if you can hear that, but I'm filming this in my lunch break and I don't have any other time. So we're just going to have to ignore him. If he starts singing, this video might be cropped and I'll be in a different outfit another day because nobody needs to hear it. But yeah, the reviews on the front say wise, heartfelt and infinitely charming by Becky Albertalli, and Jack King is the hero we've been waiting for, says Angie Thomas. So I feel like this is going to be a really good time. Next we have Obsidian Fools, and the prompt for that, oh, I've got these in the wrong order, but it doesn't matter, is to read a thriller or a mystery book. So I am going to be reading 56 Days by Catherine Ryan Howard. This is a book that I've been given an audiobook from NetGalley, which I did not know was a thing. I was really hoping to get around to this very, very soon, with it being a brand new release. And I'm just gonna check the information on Goodreads so I can let you know. It did come out 17th of August 2021, so it's not brand new, but it's brand new. It says, no one knew they'd moved in together. Now one of them is dead. Could this be the perfect murder? 56 days ago, it says Kiara, but I'm going to think it's Kira. Apologies if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. We're going to go with Kira and Oliver meet in a supermarket queue in Dublin the same week COVID-19 reaches Irish shores. 35 days ago, when lockdown threatens to keep them apart, Oliver suggests that Kira move in with him. She sees a unique opportunity for a new relationship to flourish without the pressure of scrutiny of family and friends. He sees it as an opportunity to hide who and what he really is. Today, detectives arrive at Oliver's apartment to discover a decomposing body inside. Will they be able to determine what really happened, or has lockdown provided someone with the opportunity to commit the perfect crime? So I'm not really sure if I'm quite ready to read a COVID lockdown story, but we're going to give it a go and it seems like a fun time. Next we have Ruin of the Sky, and the prompt for that is to read a book featuring ghosts, haunted houses or other supernatural elements. So I have gone for Under the Whispering Door by TJ Klune. This is an e-arc from NetGalley that I started a fair amount of time ago now, and I just haven't really wanted to pick it up, with it being like a Kindle or a NetGalley shelf book rather than a physical book or an audiobook, because I am really struggling to find time to read with everything going on in my life. But in September I will have time to finish this off. I'm saying that this fits the prompt because we start with our main character, whose name has escaped me. We start with our main character Wallace, who is attending his own funeral as a ghost. And there's a lot in the first little chunk, so I'm not giving spoilers. I believe I only got 25-ish% of the way in. There is a lot in that first chunk of him being a ghost and trying to pass on to the next realm. So that is the spooky supernatural thing. He's a ghost. Next we have Tower of Rumination, where the prompt is to read a 5-star prediction. So I wanted to go through all of the books I have on my Kindle and pick something out that I thought sounded really, really fun. I have a lot of books on my shelves, but I'm also really trying to get through my Kindle backlist. And I wasn't going to talk about it too much in this video because I feel like I go on about it all the time. But if you're one of my regular viewers, you will know I'm currently battling with the US travel ban and trying to see my boyfriend Cole. I do currently have flights booked for the 18th of September, and at the point of filming this video I have no idea whether they're going to go ahead or whether I'm going to be allowed into the country. So I'm trying to give myself a mix of physical books and ebooks so that when hopefully I get to travel to see him, I have ebooks to read. I don't think it's going to happen, and that's just my pessimistic mind. Other people have told me to be optimistic, but I'm going to stay pessimistic. So I haven't really prioritized ebooks, but I have got a few on here. So that's why I wanted to pick a Kindle book for this prompt. So I've gone for The Arrangement by Robin Harding, and I will read you what this is about because I had heard absolutely nothing, and I just saw it on my Kindle and thought I'm going to have another deep dive into what this is, and it sounds amazing. So this says, Natalie, a young art student in New York City, is struggling to pay her bills when a friend makes a suggestion. Why not go online and find a sugar daddy, a wealthy older man who will pay her for dates and give her a monthly allowance? Lots of girls do it, Nat learns. All that's required is to look pretty and hang on to his every word. Sexual favours are optional. Though more than 30 years her senior, Gabe, a handsome corporate finance attorney, seems like the perfect candidate, and within a month they are madly in love. At least Nat is. Gabe already has a family whom he has no intention of leaving. So when he abruptly ends things, Nat can't let go. She begins drinking heavily and stalking him, watching him at work, spying on his wife, even befriending his daughter, who's not much younger than she is. But Gabe's not about to let his sugar baby destroy his perfect life. What was supposed to be a mutually beneficial arrangement devolves into a nightmare of deception, obsession, and when a body is found near Gabe's posh Upper East Side apartment, murder. Does that not sound like a 5-star prediction for me? I'm so excited for that book. And then the final step on the Novice Path is the Aurelium arc, and this is to read a book with a school setting. And I have a perfect book for this, which is Not Here to Be Liked by Michelle Quach. So this was provided to me through the team at Tandem, and it was just, rather than a read-along book, it was a mail-out book that I just had to read as soon as I had time, really. And this has fit into the prompts perfectly because this is set in a high school. This is about Eliza and Len. Eliza wants to be the next editor-in-chief of the school paper, and she's trying really hard to get elected into it. But then Len turns up, who is an injured baseball player, and obviously Eliza doesn't get picked, Len does get picked. So it says Eliza is not here to be liked, she's here to win. But someone does like Eliza, a lot. Shame it's the boy standing in the way of her becoming an editor-in-chief. And I just think it sounds absolutely adorable. I don't want to say I was moving out of YA contemporaries, I just think I wasn't finding the right ones. So this is going to be a great test to see whether I am getting a bit too old. But this is a brand new release. It's hopefully covering a lot of like what we want to see in YA now. And I have very high hopes. Okay, so the next section of this readathon is the character creation section. This doesn't have to be completed until April 2022, but I did want to put some books down that I could potentially read in September to cross this off. If I don't quite get round to it, I am under no pressure to I have plenty of time to finish the character creation, but I wanted to let you know what I'm thinking of doing in September. So first of all, you have to pick a background, which is either the wilding or urban background. I went for urban, and that's a book set in a city or town. So here I can fit in my buddy read with Emily at Novel Novels. We're going to be reading Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. So I read and absolutely loved Normal People. Saying that, I think I gave it 4 stars, but it was just something completely different, and I had such fun reading it. So I was gifted this copy by Jade, yeah it was Jade, at Paperback to Hardback, because she saw that I read Normal People and enjoyed it, so wanted to give me the next piece of work by Sally Rooney. I don't know too much about this apart from we've got Frances, who is a student in Dublin. At night she performs spoken word with her best friend Bobby, who used to be her girlfriend. So there's just a lot of normal friendships. When they're interviewed and then befriended by Melissa, a well-known journalist who is married to Nick, an actor, they enter into a world of beautiful houses, dinner parties and holidays in Brittany. So this just sounds like a very easygoing time. I've got Normal People vibes from it, so we will see what I think, because I think it's a bit of a Marmite book. If you liked Normal People, you don't really like this one, is what I've heard. So I'm going in with the benefit of the doubt. I think it's going to be a good time, and yeah, set in a city or town. Next, I have chosen to be an elf, and I don't know why I've chosen to be an elf. I should have gone with human, seeing as I don't know anything about fantasy words, but something about an elf was just calling to me. I wanted to go for dwarf because that would have just been funny in my head, because I'm not even 5 foot, but there's a lot of sci-fi elements on the dwarves and I don't really do sci-fi, so I've gone with elf. That might kick me in the butt when we go into further levels of the challenges if I'm not really vibing with what I need to do for those. But yeah, we've gone with Alf, which is to read a book with moon or stars on the cover or in the title. And I kind of think I've stretched this, but I think it works perfectly. I've gone for A Lady of Rooksgrave Manor by Catherine Moon. So there's no moon in, like, illustrated in the cover, there's no moon in the title, but the word moon is written on the cover because it's the author's last name. This was recommended to me by Ro from Wandering Through Worlds when I asked for weird romances, and Goodreads says it's a paranormal reverse harem. It says, on the brink of losing her position as a maid with no prospects to go on, the offer of a place at Rooksgrave Manor, a house of ill and unusual repute, sounds like a perfect fit for a young woman with Esther's inclinations. Even better, an invitation comes by the hand of the handsome Dr. Underwood, a delicate gentleman with a ferocious alter ego who knows exactly what he wants from Esther. Upon arrival, the men and the daily decadence of the manor feel too good to be true for a girl of Esther's station. There are rules to be followed, expectations to be met, and Esther is afraid she might be too wicked even for a place like Rooksgrave. Temptations lurk around every shadowy corner, and Esther has never been a girl able to resist. But the risk of disappointing her new gentleman isn't all that's threatening Esther's new position. Rooksgrave Manor's protections for its usual patrons are falling, the wards are crumbling, and Esther's new and exquisitely pleasurable life may all come tumbling down. I think it's going to be a good time. And finally, I had to pick a province to come from, so I've gone for Keridor, I think that's how we're supposed to say it, which is read a book from an ongoing series, and I have gone for Barbarian Alien by Ruby Dixon. I have no shame, this is the sequel to Ice Planet Barbarians, and I'm just ready for it. This is less than 200 pages that I've got as an ebook. It just sounds like the same level of absolute pleasure we had with the first book. I did only give the first book 3 stars, but come on, what more can we give? Human women being stranded on an ice planet and a woman being greeted with oral sex from an alien. I don't know how far we're going to go with the second book, but I think it's going to be a good time. So there we are. That is my full TBR for the Novice Path and my character creation for the Magical Readathon. Let me know down in the comments if you will be taking part in this readathon. I would love to hear from you. But on that note, that's all I have time for today. So thank you very much for watching this video. I really do hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.